Alright, you asked for it, you get it. I've seen some requests for Hunter Mystic enchantments. So let's go through them. As a small caveat, I'm not a Hunter player. I don't know everything about Hunter. In fact, I don't know a lot. One could say even I don't know anything. So take everything I said with a grain of salt. But here it is. This is a fresh level 1 character. So you can see those are the rare slots for you. Level 10, level 45, level 50, level 55, level 58, and level 60. You might ask, wait, why is there such a huge jump between this and this? Well, because at level 15 you get your first epic slot, and at level 25 you get your second epic slot. So that's when the game starts opening up a little bit, around level 30. And around level 30 you get your legendary slot. Right? Okay. So, here we go. Is the music too loud? I'll bump it down a little bit. To like 2%. It's probably good on your end, but it's difficult for me to talk over music if it's too loud. So, first one, couple artifact abilities. Those are the usually those are utility abilities, not so much damage ones. They provide CC, defensives, stuff like that. So you only get to choose one of them. At level 35 you can unlock this slot. And there's first one, Defense of the Turtle. So you might know this ability. I think it was already a thing in Wrath of the Lich King, if I'm not mistaken. Reduces damage taken by 40%. Your movement speed cannot exceed 80% of normal speed. Lasts 8 seconds. However, I think the turtle version, turtle defense buff version from Wrath was like it disabled your attacks, right? I'm not sure if this one does. I think it doesn't. It doesn't mention it at least. Flanking strike. You and your pet charge to the target and strike it as one, dealing physical damage. Well, so this is your charge ability for Survival Hunter, the melee hunter. Might be fun. The gap closer is always great if you want to hunt people down in PvP. Might be useful. Binding Shot. Great ability. Absolutely insanely good ability for Mythic Plus. It's a AoE stun, basically. And if the monsters move a couple yards, which is like it says 5 yards, right? So if the tank moves with the monsters a bit, they all get stunned. So the way it was usually played in Mythic Plus was like the tank has his own personal cooldowns on active, right? And he can choose when to proc it. He can choose when to start the stun. When you have a good communication between your hunter and your tank, you can do amazing things with this. Post haste. Using disengage increases your movement speed by 40% for 6 seconds. Well, this is your sprint ability. Use disengage, run away, reposition, regroup, and start blasting again, right? Pretty fun. Now, legendary. First off, we have a couple mastery things. Marksmanship, beast, and survival. Those three, the mastery enchants, they make you better, generally speaking. Not in an interesting way, but they just make whatever you do already a little bit more interesting, a little bit more powerful. So, marksmanship gets just 12% of ARP, armor penetration. If I'm not mistaken, the formula for armor penetration is way different on Bronzebeard, so it is actually valuable at low levels, unlike in Wrath of the Lich King, where it's only valuable after a certain point. You need like a bunch of it. Let's say you needed Alduar or higher tier gear to make it worth. But here, it starts being impactful from the very beginning. Beast Mastery increases damage done by your pet by 8%, crit strike chance by 5%, pretty strong bonus. Survival Mastery, critical strike damage and critical strike chance of your explosive shot and explosive trap is increased by 6%. Also solid bonus. Those are your bread and butter abilities. Now, first one. Aspect of the Fox. If you're a hunter player from Cataclysm and onwards, you definitely recognize this. When you use this aspect, you can just auto shot and steady shot while moving, which is incredible for mobility, for repositioning, for your uptime on the boss. So it's definitely one of the stronger ones. But let's see what else is there. Barb shot, 2 charges, 10-second recharge. Fire a shot that tears through the enemy, causing them to bleed. This sends your pet into a frenzy, increasing attack speed by 20% for 8 seconds and stacking up to 3 times. Well. This is interesting because first off, it has 2 charges, but it sends your pet into frenzy for up to 3 times. So it tells me that either there is some ability that makes you recharge faster eventually, am I wrong? Or you have to bank it a little bit. So you send a 1 barb shot, then at the very end of the first frenzy you send another one, and by the time the second one almost gets by the aura. Jeez, I'm lacking words, I just woke up. By the time the second debuff, or more like buff on your pet expires, you can shoot the third one and then it's gonna be refreshed. This interesting gameplay. I would think it would make you really pay attention to what your buffs and debuffs are on your pet, so and your cooldowns. So definitely you're gonna need some weak aura for this to track it really well. Flare strike. Fire a flare that exposes any hidden and invisible enemies within 10 yards for 2 seconds. When it expires, a rain of arrows is called down, dealing 20 physical damage. Enemies hit are slowed and take more damage for 10 seconds. More damage from you, so this is just for the hunter. The damage is increased by 25% on target of your hunter's mark. Okay, interesting. Pretty good AoE ability. Makes your subsequent AoE attacks even stronger. Probably gonna be good burst. Blood Tracker, Deadly Bite. Dealing damage with Mongoose Bite or counter attack applies Deadly Bite. Bleeding for 8 damage over 12 seconds and increases the damage taken on Raptor Strike by 10% per stack. Stacks up to 5 times. Wow, so this one really helps you to generate damage if you can stay active on the target. If you can keep hitting it. Let's say if you will have to switch your targets in raid or something, it's gonna kind of bite you in the ass, but I imagine. How long does it last? 12 seconds? Mongoose Bite and counter attack. Okay, I would need to read real quick. How does Mongoose Bite work on this server? Mongoose. Because I know it's changed a bit. Okay, so it's instant cast with 5-second cooldown, so it's gonna be no problem to keep up the buff. And there's the talent, Deadly Focus. Mongoose Bite has 20% chance to enable the use of counter attack. Counter attack does not immobilize the target. This is 5 ranks. It has 5 ranks and 20% per, I believe. So whenever you mongoose, you will able to instantly counter attack. So it's gonna be really easy to build up the stacks, in my opinion. I think so, at least. We will have 3 attacks: Mongoose, Counter Attack, and Rapture Strike. Instant attacks are pretty nice to have, always. Sounds pretty good. Power Shot. You wind up powerful shot and deals 250 weapon damage to the target and all enemies in between you and the target. Your attacks bypass 25% armor for 10 seconds on enemies and they're also knocked back. Well, that's all cool, but I'm not sure if I like the knockback. It's probably good for like PvP setting, but Knockback can mess you up in PvE and like dungeon, can sometimes make people angry, but if it's used smartly, if you use it to like interrupt casts and stuff like that, then it's great. So keep in mind, don't just spam it, don't make people angry and upset, don't pull extra with it, because I bet it's gonna go for a long distance, 35-yard range, so keep your positioning tight. Stampede. Summon a herd of stampeding animals from the wilds that deal 44 physical damage to your enemies. That's very heavy damage considering this is level 1 tooltip. The animals run up to 30 yards in front of you. Enemies struck by stampede take increased damage from you and your pet for 20 seconds, stacking up to 4. That's 12% at max stacks. And the enemy's movement speed are also reduced by 50%. Okay, this is interesting. It's not a channel spell, you just cast it once and then you pop off. Interesting. It sounds good. Oh, it's 44 physical over 6 seconds, so maybe it's not that big of a deal, but the damage buff is definitely good. Explosive charge. Your explosive shot deals 25% of its damage split to other enemies within 5 yards. A little bit more passive cleave. Is it that big? Well, it's split damage, which I'm not a big fan of. It's definitely something. Expunge. Your Chimera shot applies Cobra Venom. When Expunge deals damage, the cooldown of Chimera shot is reset. Okay. Chimera shot is the one with nature damage over time, no? Cobra Venom deals nature damage over 15 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. When reaching 3 stocks or target dies, the Cobra Venom is expunged, dealing 12 nature damage to enemies within 10 yards. Okay. So, Chimera shot has 10 seconds cooldown. Ah, it's the one with the different effects. Depending on your sting. Okay, okay. Sounds cool. I'm not sure, because it has 15 seconds duration on the Cobra Venom, so it's gonna take a long ass time to... It's gonna take a long ass time to get to 3 stacks, like 30 seconds. Is there a way to reduce camera shot cooldown? I don't see it. Well, maybe some hunter can make sense out of it. Firewatch. When your immolation trap or explosive trap triggers, your Mungus Bite, Rapture Strike and counterattack deals additional 10% damage as fire for 12 seconds. In addition, after killing opponent that yields experience or honor, the cooldown of your immo trap and explosive trap is reset. This one is very cool for dungeons. Like low level dungeons, you're gonna kill a lot of stuff, so your traps are gonna be always up. And from what I've seen, the traps deal actually really heavy damage over time, DPS. So definitely one of the cooler enchants. It's just level 15. Should grab it as soon as possible for survival. Using Mongoose Bite or counterattack increases the damage done by your next arcane shot, explosive shot or quick shot by 15% and reduces their mana cost by 50%. Okay. I'm not sure how relevant the mana costs are, but increasing damage of explosive shots by 15% is definitely decent. Could be nice gameplay where you just walk in, slap somebody with your axe or what have you, and then follow up with explosive or whatever. Savagery. Your wing clip deals 5 damage but no longer slows the target. In addition, using wing clip reduces the cooldown of Rapture Strike by 1 second. I think wing clip is like the equivalent of hamstring, right? Yeah, it's exactly like hamstring. So it deals very light damage, but reduces your Raptor Strike cooldown. How big is Raptor? 6 seconds. Okay. Probably very decent when you're like super early level and you want to spam those strikes. Is it good for late game? Probably not. Alright, I'm gonna take a sip of coffee real quick. Alright. Hydra Sting. Your Serpent Sting hits up to 3 targets and dealing damage with Serpent Sting reduces the cooldown on rapid fire by 2 seconds. So this one says dealing damage with Serpent Sting. So if I'm not mistaken, this one deals damage over time. That sounds really powerful. Why? Because I think it reduces the cooldown of rapid fire by 2 seconds for every tick of damage that you do. Now, I only don't know if it's gonna be for each different target or just one target. Probably somebody can tell me, but if it does for every single target, you will have rapid fire very often. It's the DPS cooldown, no? Rapid fire. Yeah, it's the DPS cooldown. Max rank is it what? 3 minutes? Yeah. Sounds good. Multi-dot. Very nice. Your Mongoose Bite and Counterattack deals 15% increased damage on targets affected by Hunter's Mark. Well. 15% more damage from those 2 hits. From your bread and butter abilities. Pretty good. Kindle for the Fire. Dealing direct physical with range or melee ability increases your fire damage down by 2%, stacking up to 4 times. Oh. Every auto attack, every ranged hit with your gun or crossbow or your bow, you get your stacks, 8% at the max. Should be very easy to keep up. So if you're into the traps playstyle, definitely something to look out for. Lone Wolf increases your damage done by 10% as well. Your range and melee attack speed by 15%, but you do not have a pet. This one I believe was a talent, deep into like Warlords of Draenor or something even. I always liked that design quite a bit, but I'm not sure how much not having your pet is gonna destroy your damage. So somebody probably has to run the numbers and see if it's worth. The first time you apply Hunter's Mark to a target above 75% health, your next range ability on target will critically hit and restore 15% mana. Well, that's definitely good for PvP, and definitely good when you're like making a big opener on bosses. But is it gonna be good for entire duration of a raid fight or something? Probably not, unless there's a bunch of ads coming in. Concussive Trauma. Your concussive shot causes the target to take increased damage from range and melee abilities. In addition, concussive shot no longer costs mana. Well, if I'm not mistaken, concussive is just like an instant cast, right? Very long range. Basis target, yeah. Well, it's definitely a large bonus. What's the duration on that bad boy? 4 seconds. Okay. Hunting Frenzy. Increase the damage of your pet's special abilities by 10% while your Hunter Mark is on the target. After killing an opponent that yields experience or honor, your pet next 2 special abilities gains 100% critical strike chance and causes no focus. Well, Definitely one of those good enchants for Beastmaster hunters. Next two special abilities, 100% crit chance. Sounds very powerful. If you can land those, especially for like solo leveling, if you're leveling solo and killing stuff all the time, or in dungeons, might be very good. Trap launcher grants the ability to launch your explosive trap and emulation trap up to 30 yards away. Well, this is self-explanatory. You don't have to walk up in the middle of pack of enemies. You can just launch it from distance. Very nice. And it's a passive effect. It's not like a cooldown thing. You just throw them. Multi-shot grants you trick shot when hitting 3 or more targets. Your next arcane shot ricochets to 5 nearby enemies, losing momentum with every target hit. Lasts for 6 seconds. So I assume the momentum means deals less damage, similar to chain lightning, but it's still a good, more passive cleave. Well, not so passive since you have to press multi-shot, but it's not like not a big deal. It's an instant cast, so should be fine. Deadly aim. Your auto shots have 15% chance to reset the cooldown of aim shot and multi-shot, increase the damage of your next aim shot or multi-shot by 30%. Well, so this is your random proc, 15% chance, pretty high. If I'm not mistaken, aim shot is pretty hard hitting ability, so having 30% more on that is definitely good. And it doesn't have duration, so you don't really even have to pay attention to it that much. You just press it whenever. Interesting. Joint Onslaught. Your multi-shot grants your pet Frenzied Cleave, and your aim shot grants your pet Frenzied Bite. Auto attacks also strike 5 other nearby enemies for 15% of the damage for 5 seconds. Wow, that's pretty good. It's really good. It's only 15%. It's not that big, but it's basically double damage, right? 5 times 15. Almost double damage. If there's enough targets. Auto attacks deals additional damage for 30% of damage for 5 seconds. Okay, so this is pretty smart design, honestly. Like, when you're multi-shotting, you have multiple targets in front of you, right? So it's automatically gonna give your pet the cleave. If you're aim-shotting, well, you probably have just a single target. So your auto attack gonna deal more damage. Just to that one target. I think it's pretty smart design. You don't have to make a weak aura for this. It's basically gonna do, well, work itself, right? Work itself out. Savage Momentum. Your pet's special attack criticals reduce the cooldown of your aim shot and multi-shot by 2 seconds. Well. If you remember, this guarantees crits after killing, and this reduces cooldowns. Do I need to say more? Quickfire Tactics reduces the cooldown of lock and load to 15 seconds. Gaining lock and load reduces the cooldown of flare strike by 4 seconds. Is this a typo? Reduces the cooldown of to 15 seconds. Load. Okay, so this passive effect has a 22 seconds cooldown. Oh, that's really powerful, I think. That is really powerful, I think. And the flare strike? Is it this one? Yeah. This one combos with the legendary ability in that case. Sounds good. Blood Tracker, Glaive Toss. You hurl 2 glaives toward the target, each dealing 60% weapon damage. Sounds cool. 60% each, 120% weapon damage. Is it hard hitting? Probably not. Maybe it combos with something else as well. I'm not sure about that. Oh, there it is. Just literally next one. Your glaive toss chains to additional 2 targets, and your deadly bite increases damage of glaive toss by 20% per stack. What's the max stack ability? Doesn't say. In addition, using glaive toss on an enemy affected by your deadly bite slows the target by 30%. Okay, but how many stacks can you have? Is it infinite? That would mean if you spam like 10 deadly bites, you get 10 stacks, and suddenly your glaive toss hits like a truck. That would be fun. But I don't know what's the maximum of stacks. Using steady shot right after another steady shot reduces its cast time by 30%, its mana cost by 100%. Okay. So this makes your filler ability a little bit better. Not that big into marksman, hunter gameplay. Maybe good, maybe not, I don't know. Power through. Your aimed shot, quick shot, steady shot, multi-shot hits reduces the cooldown of power shot by 2 seconds. Oh, power shot no longer knocks monsters back, but instead deals 25% more damage to them. So there it is. All 4 of those abilities reduce cooldown of power shot right here, and it only has 30 seconds cooldown. So let's say you hit 4 of those abilities, suddenly your cooldown of the power shot is reduced to like 22 seconds already, and it hits even harder than it was. Pretty strong physical cleave ability. I'm not sure how good marksman was on it. I believe they only used like multi-shot and rain of arrows before for AoE, but this is like different ability that you can spam to do serious AoE damage. On top of that, it gives you 25% armor penetration. This could make marksman pretty good. Generally speaking, marksman is like only gets better later on in the Wrath of the Lich King, if I'm not mistaken. Interesting. Where were we? Here. Touch me their bones. Your damaging hunter abilities reduce the cooldown of kill command by 2 seconds. Your damaging hunter abilities, so this is literally everything. Interesting. Using kill command makes your pet charge to your current target and deal weapon damage. Well, pretty good. Pretty good bonuses. Hunter has some strong abilities in here. Using flanking strike causes your next 3 mongoose bites or counter attack abilities to deal 15% more damage. Okay, so we're stacking those modifiers for mongoose bite. Very cool. When you deal damage with barbed shot, you have 15% chance to restore a charge of it. Oh, there it is. And increase the damage you deal with barbed shot by 30% for 6 seconds. So, if you have this and the barbed shot, where was it? Am I blind? Am I blind? I might be blind. Oh, there it is. If you get lucky and you get the 15% proc at a good time, this could make your pet like permanently in a frenzy, because you would be able to refresh the charge over and over again. But if you get unlucky, you get the low roll and suddenly your frenzy falls off. You have to build it again. It's definitely one of the playstyles, I believe. Is it good? Not sure. Spot weakness. Your ranged attacks have 25% chance on targets above 20% health to grant you spot weakness. This effect can only trigger once every 15 seconds. And spot weakness does... Allows the usage of your next kill shot, regardless of target's health state, but deals 30% reduced damage if used on targets above 20% health. Ah, okay, so this lets you use the kill shot, which is hard-hitting ability. But if you use it this way, it's gonna deal less damage. Interesting. Rain of Arrows. Teaches you Rain of Arrows. Continuously fires a volley of ammo at target area, causing 35 arcane damage to enemy targets every second for 6 seconds. Okay. Black Widow Strike. Transforms your Black Arrow into Black Widow Strike. It has 30 seconds cooldown, uses all Black Arrow modifiers, and increases all damage done by you to the target by 8%, and deals some damage over time. Well, 8% is nothing to laugh about. Is it good enough to warrant its usage though? I'm not sure. Your improved steady shot has a 100% chance to trigger. 100%? Oh, damn. So basically, after every steady shot, your next aimed, arcane shot or chimera shot is gonna be increased by percent. I'm not sure how it scales to level 3. I assume it's 45%, but it reduces mana cost. That's pretty good. Sounds pretty good. I think a very reliable way to proc things is always good, always welcome. Charged up. Transforms explosive shot into explosive shot. Charged up. You fire explosive charge into the target, dealing heavy fire damage, and the charge will blast the target every second for an additional 2 seconds. When active on the target, it makes your attack bypass 25% armor. Usable whilst in melee range. Okay, so I guess if you go heavy into armor penetration on the survival, you just point blank somebody with explosive shot, and you ignore 25% of armor, which is a lot. It is a lot of armor penetration. Interesting. Molten ammo. Explosive shot makes your next steady shot deal additional 70% as fire. Well, 70% is a lot. Especially considering you have some enchants that increase your fire damage output. Okay, so that was it for epic enchants. Now start the blue enchants. Let me take a quick sip of coffee. Okay, I'm back. Well, the blue enchants are all available from your class trainer. Do not make the mistake of random rolling for blue enchants. You can get them all at your class trainer. And as you might notice, a bunch of them are glyph off, glyph off, glyph off, glyph off, glyph off. That means they're just Wrath of the Lich King glyphs, but repurposed for the Bronzebeard. So I'm just gonna quickfire them like in previous videos. There's if you're familiar with hunters already, you should be knowing what they do, but I'm gonna mouse over each one of them, so if you want you can pause the video and read up. Alright, so reduces damage taken by 20% for 3 seconds after using Raptor Strike. Pretty good defensive bonus. Increases duration of Serpent Sting. Increases attack power bonus of Hunter's Mark. Pretty nice. Arcane Shot refunds 20% of mana cost if you have stings. That's cool. Increases healing done by your pet. Crit for quick shot. Chance is doubled on bleeding targets. Oh, decreases the duration of effect from immolation trap by 6, but damage while active is increased by 100%. That's a lot of damage. Decreases the cooldown of multi-shot by 1 second, increases crit strike chance by 10%. Cooldown of aim shot reduced. Freezing trap leaves the lingering movement slow effect. More mana from Aspect of the Viper. Range of scatter shot by 3 yards. Teaches you... Oh, and now we have the crossover talents, which is the talents that you can grab. For example, if you're in marksman, in a marksman tree, really deep, normally on Bronzebeard at level 60, your last talent would be this one, the capstone ability, so to speak, and that'll be your last talent point. And then you wouldn't be able to spec into, let's say, survival or beast mastery. But on Bronzebeard, you get to use those, the crossover talents. And then, let's say you're really heavy into survival, you can still grab aim shot. You can still grab it, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Increases the haste from rapid fire. Increases the AoE from frost trap. Glyph of steady shot. Increases damage of steady shot on stung targets. Periodic damage from explosive trap can now be critical strikes. That's pretty nice for AoE. Cooldown of kill shot. Cooldown of bestial wrath. Mana cost of volley reduced. True shot aura. Increased crit for aimed. Decreases cooldown wyvern sting. Increases haste bonus of aspect of the hawk. Increases attack power of aspect of the beast. This is more crossover talents. They are copy pasted talents as in a glyph form. I'm just gonna mouse over them real quick. When it says in the blue crossover talent, that means it's on your tree somewhere, but normally you wouldn't have access to it. For example, it's really useful for Feral Druid, because if a Feral wanted to go 60 talents into Feral tree, they wouldn't be able to grab Omen of Clarity, which is extremely important, of course. Okay, Trap Mastery, this is the last crossover talent, and here Scatter Shot. Teaches you Scatter Shot, short range shot that deals 50% weapon damage and disorients the target for 4 seconds. That's a nice CC bonus. Cooldown of Deterrence by 10 seconds. Cooldown of Chimera Shot by 2 seconds. And crit strike chance of explosive shot by 8%. So you definitely can recognize some of those from Wrath of the Lich King. Quick short video, we made all of them in 40 minutes. Talking and reading out them a lot gets me a little bit dry in my mouth, so also struggling with a little bit of, maybe not sickness, but my nose is completely clogged, so that's why I speak so weird sometimes. But if you enjoyed the video, like it, leave a comment if I got something wrong or you have more questions, and see you Friday on in-game.